So these days, it always feels like there is another recession or economic downturn coming. When the economy slows down, layoffs usually hit the private sector first. Budgets get cut, companies downsize, entire industries disappear overnight. But some jobs don't vanish during recessions because society literally cannot function without them. Today, I'm breaking down 5 recession-proof government jobs that tend to stay stable even when the economy doesn't. And quick note, if you like clear, no BS breakdowns of stable careers, overlooked government jobs, and how these systems actually work, go ahead and give me a subscribe, and let's get into this one. Okay, so before we start, there are 2 things to know. Pay requirements and hiring timelines vary by location. Also, federal, state, and local governments all operate a little differently. But every job on this list support a system that cannot be shut down no matter what the economy is doing. So number 1 is going to be your cybersecurity and IT support roles. When the economy gets unstable, cybercrime does not slow down. If anything, it ramps up. Government agencies hold massive amounts of sensitive data, tax records, medical info, infrastructure systems, and even national security. Protecting that data becomes more important during global or economic instability. That's why roles like information security analysts are among the most secure jobs during economic downturn. The thing is, hackers don't take recessions off, neither does IT and cybersecurity. So coming in at number 2 is going to be your social workers. Economic downturns hit families first and they hit them the hardest. There's job loss, housing instability, and mental health crisis. And when that happens, demand for social services increases. State and local social welfares handle things like child welfare, unemployment and benefits coordination, crisis intervention, mental health support. These roles don't disappear because of recessions, they become more essential. Governments may freeze hiring in other areas, but frontline social services almost always stay staffed because the need doesn't go away. So coming in at number 3 is going to be your public safety officials. Public safety is a non-negotiable. Police officers, correctional officers, federal agents, firefighters, EMTs, paramedics are all required whether the economy is booming or collapsing. These agencies don't shut down and they don't tend to scale back operations because during these recessions, crime is happening. Fires are still happening. People still need medical assistance. In some downturns, the demand actually increases. Now, number 4, kind of going hand in hand, are going to be your emergency dispatchers and 911 call takers. Once again, emergencies, they don't care about the country's GDP. They don't care about the stock market. Emergencies are going to happen, and somebody has to be there to answer your call when you call 911. Whether we're in a booming economy or a failing one, heart attacks, fires, accidents, domestic crises, robberies, they all still happen. That makes emergency dispatchers one of the most recession-resistant local government roles. These jobs are funded as what they call critical infrastructure. They're rarely outsourced, rarely automated, and rarely laid off. If anything, staffing becomes more important during times of economic downturn. Now, coming in at number 5 seems like it would be an obvious one, but a lot of people don't really think about it. That's going to be your accountants and your auditors. When money gets tight, government tracks it more, not less. Taxes still have to be collected, budgets still need to be balanced, and fraud still needs to be investigated. That's why roles like tax auditors, government accountants, and analysts at agencies like the IRS remain stable during recessions. You don't stop counting money just because there's less of it. So before we wrap up here, it is worth talking about what landing these jobs actually looks like. They're stable, but they're not random. Most recession-proof government jobs share a few traits. They're usually going to have structured requirements. These roles usually have very clear entry criteria. Certifications, exams, specific experience, not some vague culture fit or who you know. You either meet the requirements for these positions or you don't. There's also going to be testing and vetting. Most of these jobs will involve some skills testing, background checks, maybe even medical or psychological evaluations. That's because these roles protect public safety, data, and or money. The bar on these jobs is clear and it's enforced. If you can't pass the tests, you're probably not going to get into these roles. And finally, these roles do typically have slower hiring but longer stability. But once you're in, the turnover is lower and the stability is higher than what you might find in the private sector. These jobs aren't easy, but they are predictable. And for people who value structure, security, and long term stability, that's not a downside, it's the whole point. Recession proof jobs usually aren't flashy, but they exist because society can't function without them, no matter what the economy is doing. If you want more breakdowns of stable careers, overlooked government jobs, and how these systems actually work, go ahead and give me a subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.